Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are discussing January, February 2022 favorites, my very first favorite videos of 2022, and I'm excited to share them with you. I think this is actually my first video of the year here on YouTube, so I'm really excited to talk about the products that I've been enjoying the last couple of months. I'll be honest, after the holidays, I think that, you kind of have an influx of like new products. And so in the first 2 months of the year, I didn't really buy a lot of new stuff, Honestly, I actually realized like the things I really liked and really made a lot of repeat purchases. And I actually ended up using a lot of the things I already did have, but didn't really necessarily talk to you guys about. There are a couple of new products in here, let's not be mistaken. I was still shopping. A lot of these are things that I've had for a while and really kind of figured out ways to make them work for me. And of course, I wanted to share them with you. If you are into someone running their mouth about monthly products, then please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you guys know whenever I put up a new video. And of course, everything that we discussed today will be linked in the description box below. Okay, you guys, let's get into it. First up is a concealer. This is the McGrath Labs Sublime Perfection Concealer. Now, as someone who loves the Sublime Perfection foundation, I think it was only a matter of time that I found the concealer, and I'm not sure what took me so long because I've actually been using the foundation now for probably the last couple of years. I think I discovered, maybe it's been a little under 2 years. I think I discovered the McGrath foundation like towards the end of 2020, and it was my go-to foundation all last year. It really is like my everyday foundation. The color matches me like no other. I actually wear color medium 17, and that is actually the same color I wear in the concealer because I use this actually to like spot correct, not necessarily to highlight or contour. Obviously, it's the same color as my foundation. For my highlight, I'm still using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. It's just kind of like my go-to. And I've heard really good things about other concealers that I'm actually anxious and kind of excited to try. So I actually just bought a new one a couple of weeks ago from Sephora, which I will be sharing soon. But this has been my go-to. I actually feel like I use less foundation now because I'm using the concealer a lot more, and it is definitely more of a full coverage kind of concealer. So but it's not too cakey, so I do really like that about it. I just feel like the McGrath face makeup products just have a way of just blending beautifully into skin while giving you full coverage without making you look cakey or overdone, which really doesn't exist in my language if you ask me. But I really love it. I've been using it every day with my foundation, and I kind of feel like this is what I will be gravitating toward in the warmer months. Whenever I don't wear foundation, this will probably be my go-to concealer. Now, another product I've been using every day when it comes to doing my makeup is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. Now, this is definitely the most affordable thing that I'm probably going to talk about today, and it's glorious. I have used a slew of primers, and this one really does, in fact, to me, fill in like fine lines. And if you have texture issues or large pores, I really feel like this goes on beautifully without making your skin feel heavy or your pores feeling clogged. It's not oily. It's more of like a silicone based kind of feeling product, but it is wonderful. And I've actually had this for a few months now, and I use this almost every day, and I still have so much product left. And I will say that e.l.f. does a really, really good job for a line that has super affordable products. I feel like their products always deliver. At least they always have for me. And their Poreless Putty Primer is another example of that. So of course, after I do all of my skincare, all of my SPF and all of that, I will actually put on the Farsali kind of skin serum for that kind of glowy skin situation. Let that set in my skin for about 5 minutes or so before I put on the Poreless Putty Primer. And I always make sure that I get here, especially and right here, because to me that's where like I'm noticing fine lines pop up and where my pores are the most noticeable. And honestly, it's like a night and day difference for me with how my foundation looks on my skin when I do or do not wear this. So it's a must for me. I use this every single time I put on makeup, and it has easily become a favorite of mine. Let's talk about blush. The blush that I used all winter long, all winter, I'm talking November, December, January, and February, is the NARS Savage Blush. It is absolutely beautiful. It is really like this beautiful kind of reddish brown color, which actually goes really well with my dress today. However, I'm actually wearing the Pat McGrath blush, more of in like a pinky color. I've been gravitating towards more like fresh kind of colored pinks and bright, vibrant pinks now that we're inching towards spring. But I'll tell you what, Savage was my go-to blush for those winter months. It is an absolutely gorgeous kind of brick reddish brown, beautiful, beautiful tone of a blush. And I think this would look good on any complexion, especially if you have really a gorgeous, deep, dark complexion. I feel like this would look glorious on skin. But I feel like if you're, you know, lighter as well, this just does, it just wears really nicely on the skin. I feel like NARS does a really great job with their color products, especially their blush. I am still a huge fan of Orgasm. I wear NARS Orgasm pretty consistently, no matter what season it is throughout the year. But Savage really was my go-to in those cooler months, especially as we got towards fall. So if you like more of like a brown, kind of almost reddish tint in your blush, I'm telling you, Savage is the way to go. And it is absolutely worth the splurge because it will last you literally forever. Even though I've been enjoying makeup and products that help my makeup, you know, look better, I have definitely been getting very consistent with my skincare. And I do think in those colder months, it's like, you know, it gets dark quick. So I feel like at night, all you have to do is put on your skincare and watch Netflix. And that is certainly what I was doing very consistently. And you guys know that I'm a huge fan of the SK-II facial treatment essence. It is my go-to. It is like my favorite. And I've actually been working with SK-II for over the last 6 months. And it's just been one of my favorite skincare products for, gosh, years. You can go back and check because I've talked about this product so much. This month, my go-to was their mask. The SK-II Essence Sheet Masks are just amazing. They call it their facial treatment masks. Sorry, I just have a hair that apparently keeps on wanting to get in my mouth. The SK-II facial treatment masks have been glorious. This has been kind of like my really kind of self-care indulgent product when I take a bath. So after I take my makeup off and I cleanse my face and I make sure there's no makeup on my skin whatsoever, it's been cleaned, I throw this sheet mask on while I'm in the bath, and talk about glorious. It is so great. My skin looks like, I can't even explain it to you. What SK-II does for your skin, you can only experience it. It's really hard to articulate in words. However, I will try. Your skin feels so supple. It really does look radiant, and it just, honestly, it really fakes the funk for you. If you've been like slacking on your skincare, this is the product that will make you look like you've been doing your skincare for the last 2 months without missing. It's so amazing on those days that I'm going to have like a photo shoot, or I know I need to have like a good skin day because I'm maybe going to be doing something live in person or whatnot. I will definitely throw this mask on either the night before or the morning of, and it absolutely makes a difference. I love it. It comes 10 to a pack. This is definitely a splurge, but to me, this is definitely a splurge worth making. SK-II has never let me down, and I will continue to sing its praises. And lately, their masks have been my go-to. So I almost forgot to mention this. However, one of my favorite products as of late has been the House of Lashes Sephora Collection Lashes in Iris. That is what I'm wearing on my eyes now. And a lot of you guys have been DMing me and asking me what I've been wearing, what lashes I've been wearing. And I'm a huge fan of House of Lashes. Their iconic lashes are probably hands down my favorite lashes. I wear that all the time. They're just glorious. I love them so much. However, I was in Sephora the other day and I realized that they did a collaboration with House of Lashes, and the Iris Lash almost kind of had like iconic tendencies, but it still was like refreshing and kind of had its own thing. I feel like Iris is like Iconic's like cool little sister. They're a little bit lighter. They're very glam, but they're not as glam as Iconic. They're almost kind of reminiscent of the Iconic Light, which I actually usually wear every day or anytime I am wearing like full makeup. But I love the Iris so much. I've probably worn these a dozen times now. You get nice, really good uses out of them, and I love how they make my eyes look. So a shout out to House of Lashes and Sephora. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the price point is either the same or a little bit cheaper, because I know House of Lashes definitely has like a more moderate, I won't say they're expensive, but I think it has like a more moderate price point. And I think it's almost the same, if not a little bit cheaper than their, you know, usual lashes, but they're absolutely glorious. I love them so much. The Iris has been, I probably am gonna like buy a couple of more because I need to actually make an order from Sephora, and I'm absolutely going to be repurchasing these because they turned out better than I expected. So let's talk a little bit about hair. I have really kind of been gravitating towards like this like wavy kind of like very, very loose curl kind of look. I just kind of feel like just like with the length of my hair, like this unit just is like maybe, is it 24 inches, I think? Yeah, it's like 24 inches, which on me, because I am short, is pretty long. But I was like I didn't want like the like pageantry curl. Like sometimes I have those moments where I want something really va-va-voom, but most times I want it to look kind of like loose, not necessarily like beachy, but very kind of loose, effortless kind of waves. I have been using the T3 Micro Whirl Trio. Now, I've been specifically out of the trio, I have been using the 1-inch wand, which is nice. So with the T3 Whirl Trio, basically how that works is you can take off the wand and, you know, switch it off. So they have a tapered one. This is, of course, just the 1 inch. It's not tapered just all the way. You can take it off and switch it. So I love that. They have a tapered one, and they have the wand that's, I think it's the 1.5 inch. And that's really lovely. Like if you want big volume, I really like how that makes your hair look. But I actually was using that before I used this. And the smaller kind of ringlets kind of give, to me, I just like the way it looks a little bit more. I will actually pop in a picture right here for you guys to see what it looks like when the ringlets are a little bit more tight but yet brushed out. This is probably about maybe like day 4 or 5, but I still like it. Like I just will add some of the little, like, is it the Gisou hair oil? And I will kind of just like brush it out, and I love how it looks, you know what I mean? The 1-inch wand has been my go-to. I absolutely love it. It's amazing. It is how I get the, you know, when I have the big voluminous curls, it's because of those tighter ringlets. And then I let the curls set, I let them cool down, and then I brush them out. And it's just so glorious. And I love that it ends up lasting me like almost a week before I have to like redo it all the way. But every now and then I'll go ahead and refresh my hair, you know, with a couple little ringlets here and there. But absolutely love it. This has been my go-to for a minute. And T3 actually sent this to me, I think last year in PR, and it is probably one of my most used products. It's just so good. If you like more of a tapered wand, they have that in the trio as well. So let's talk about smell goods, because I'm always down to have something that's smelling glorious. It just makes me so happy. The fragrance I gravitated towards the whole time it was cold outside was the Apple Brandy by Kilian on the Rocks. First of all, the bottle's just beautiful. It is like this, it smells more like cologne. I don't want to spray because I sprayed something else on, but it smells almost like, it's very like woodsy, yet has that apple. So it has a fruitiness to it, but in a really sophisticated way, not in a really, it's no shade, but not in like a Bath and Body Works kind of way. Yeah, I think maybe it's that brandy that has like that woodsy kind of warm, almost like masculine tone in it. And I absolutely love how it smells. It is so, so good. And the bottle is so, so pretty. And to me, it was just such a like, I don't know, it just felt really good anytime I wore it, but it's so good. If you like more like masculine, almost smelling kind of woodsy fragrances, I think you would really like this because this was absolutely the vibe it gave me. Speaking of things that smell good, my candle that I have been loving so much, I cannot stop lighting it because it's so good. This is in fact my second one, is the Jenni Kayne Cedar candle. It has rose, tobacco leaf, fir needle, and cedar wood. I can't even, first of all, I love rose, which is hilarious because I'm allergic to roses. Not only is it my favorite flower, but it's like one of my favorite scents, and I'm like wildly allergic to it. The only way I can like even handle rose is like if I light it via a candle. And so I love this because it has that woodsy smell, but it still has a touch of like sweet and floral to it. It just smells so good. We usually light it in the office or in the kitchen, and it's glorious. This is my second candle. I'm sure when this runs out, I'm going to buy another one. It is just so good. I could light this any season. I feel like this works any season. I feel like because of the rose, it works in like the warmer months for spring and summer. Because of the cedar wood and the tobacco leaf, I feel like it has more, you know, kind of like warm tones or warm notes for like the cooler months as well. It's just beautiful. I love the Jenni Kayne brand. I think they do a really good job. Very California, and they do a really good job with their candles as well. Okay, so I don't have it with me right now, but my favorite coffee mug has been this little guy, this beautiful tiled monogram mug. You know, I love an initial mug. It's just good stuff. And you guys actually really like it too. Every time I post it on Instagram stories, you guys are always clicking the link and purchasing it because it's just good. It makes a great gift for like whoever your friends are who love coffee, or even your kid's teacher. I just feel like a coffee mug is just never going to be out of style, but I do love how this tiled kind of decorative look works any season as well. You know, I have more floral mugs that obviously are a little bit more spring and summer friendly, but this kind of works all year round. And when I was on Anthropologie, when I was on their app, which is where I got the mug from last year, I actually noticed that they have like these matching dinner plates and even matching dessert plates with it too, and they're so, so gorgeous. Now the plates are not monogrammed. I think they have bumblebees on them, but they're absolutely beautiful. That really like mosaic tile kind of look is really, really beautiful, especially since they did it in like an ivory kind of black and gold motif. Beautiful. I absolutely love it, and that has been like my everyday coffee mug, and it's just good stuff, you know? Well, you guys, that does it for my January, February 2022 favorites. If you guys like this video, then of course give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit the subscribe button and put on that notification bell so you know anytime I post a new video. Of course, everything we discussed here today will be linked in the description box below. All right, you guys, I will see you in my next video. Bye.